aura swirling around him. He opens his eyes, and it burns bright like that of a vampire. Out of nowhere, the beast gets hit with several projectiles, causing it to scream in pain. Arata passes out, and when he opens his eyes, he sees the beast lying dead in front of him with several weapons sticking out of its body. Arata is shocked to see this as he starts to wonder if he really defeated the beast. He has no idea what just happened to him, and the system notifies him that he has reached level 3. Arata realizes that he leveled up because he beat the beast, which basically means his stats have gotten better. However, he forgets about getting stronger or not and decides to focus on finding his brother. He gets on his feet and steps onto the street, looking battered. Takatora crosses his mind, and Arata's rage burns brighter with the determination that he is never going to forgive the dude for what he did. Suddenly, he loses the remaining strength in him, and he passes out on the streets. Meanwhile, Takatora has gone back to the room to check if the brothers are dead, only to find a broken wall and destruction everywhere. Takatora cannot believe his eyes when he sees this because there is no way he expects the brothers to be able to escape his grasp. Later on, Arata wakes up from memories he shared with his brother. He looks around to find himself in a strange environment, which happens to be an infirmary. The last thing he remembers is going to the Goto building and fighting a beast. Suddenly, it dawns on him that he has a brother who has turned into a beast, and he needs to save him. Arata is about to get off the bed when a nurse suddenly appears in the room carrying some medical items and telling Arata that he needs to stay on the bed. Arata stutters, not knowing what to say, and the nurse reveals that they got a call that he collapsed on the roadside. She points out his injuries, which he sustained from fighting the beast. Arata had totally forgotten this, but the nurse's words jerked up his memory again. Arata then asks the nurse where he is, and the lady replies that he is in a Slayer relief station. The nurse adds that she is not new to things like this because rookie Slayers tend to overthink things in their first fight, which lands them in the hospital. Arata is surprised to find himself in a relief station, and he starts wondering who could have brought him there. The nurse then tells Arata to join a guild and get himself a Slayer badge. She is about to continue explaining the perks that come with joining a guild when Arata cuts her short, telling her that there is somewhere he needs to be. The nurse screams at him like his mummy, telling him that he can't be moving around just yet because he needs to rest. Arata then lies back on the bed, and the nurse soon leaves, urging him to wait for her. The moment the nurse leaves, Arata gets off the bed and walks to the door. At the door, he hears some dudes talking about the magic beast that appeared near the Goto building. Arata figures out that the beast they are talking about is his brother. He also hears them talking about how an unidentified Slayer is accompanying him. The dudes reveal that it is going to be a problem for them to handle the beast if it ends up entering a magic fissure. Arata immediately figures out that the guild is hunting his brother down, and it is not going to be long before they hunt him down and kill him. Arata immediately figures out that he needs to find his brother quickly. The nurse returns to the room only to see that Arata has disappeared via the window. Arata runs through the street with the worry that his brother is going to be sent to the afterlife. He remembers them talking about a magic fissure, and he figures out that his brother might be trapped in one. Since this is the case, Arata decides that he has to check out every possible magic fissure in the area. Suddenly, he hears an announcement on the phone telling him that a magic fissure has appeared in the Asagi area and civilians are advised to evacuate. Because of the timing, Arata decides to check it out. He reaches where the crack is and learns that it is of a low rank, the bronze rank. He realizes that a barrier has also been put around it, which means someone from the association has gotten there, but there is no presence of a Slayer yet. Since this is his first time entering a magic fissure, he is a bit nervous and scared, but he gets over this with the realization that he needs to save his brother. The moment he steps in, the system is notified that there is someone trying to clear the magic fissure. Arata is blown away when he sees what the inside of the fissure looks like. It looks like a desert, which is totally different from the outside world. Since he has no idea where his brother can be, he decides that he needs to go deeper. Suddenly, he gets a mission notification telling him to defeat the boss to clear the fissure. Since there's a boss in the fissure, he figures out that it will be in the deepest part of the fissure. However, he knows that he will encounter other beasts on the way, and the question of whether he can defeat them or not rings in his head. Momentarily, a level 3 beast appears in front of him. He remembers defeating a beast the day before, but he doesn't really know. Nonetheless, he figures out that he has no choice but to fight the beast. He taps into his skill list and whips out the Shadow Blade. Arata is glad that he is able to pull it off. The beast charges toward Arata, but he blocks the monster's bite with his shadow sword. Arata struggles